Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the final round of YARSI English Debate Competition. Today's motion is, this House believes that we should implement full-day school for compulsory education. In today's debate, we have Medicine A team acts as the opening government, with Humaira as the first speaker and Dan as the second speaker. We also have Law team acts as the closing government, with Amelia as the first speaker and Adara as the second speaker. In the opposition bench, we have Dentistry team acts as the opening opposition, with Ardelia as the first speaker and Harris as the second speaker. Lastly, we have Medicine B team acts as the closing opposition, with Camelia as the first speaker and Alfian as the second speaker. For adjudicators, we have Ms. Nafila as chair adjudicators, and we have Ms. Ira and Ms. Awanis as the panelists. Before we start, I'd like to read the rules of this final round, so hopefully the competitors will listen carefully. The speaking times for each speaker are 7 minutes and 20 seconds. The timekeeper will knock once at the first minute, and POIs, point of information, are allowed. The timekeeper will knock once at the 6th minute, with POI are not allowed anymore. The timekeeper will knock twice at the 7th minute, means the time are almost over. And the timekeeper will knock continuously at 7 minutes and 20 seconds, means the speaker should end his or her speech. Okay, without any further ado, let's call upon the first speaker of the opening government team, Ms. Humaira.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, honorable judges, audiences, and other participants. I, as the Prime Minister of the government team, stated that this House believed that we should implement full-day school for compulsory education. Before we get to the base arguments, allow me to define the motion. Compulsory education is a system in which children are required by law to attend school up to a certain age or until they have completed a certain level of education. The aim of compulsory education is to ensure that all children receive a basic education that will enable them to become functioning members of society. The specifics of compulsory education, including the age and level of education required, vary by country and jurisdiction. In many countries, compulsory education typically starts at age 6 or 7 and continues until age 16 or 18. However, some countries have compulsory education laws that start as early as age 4 or continue until age 21. Full-day compulsory education is a system in which children are required by law to attend school for the entire school day. This differs from part-day or half-day compulsory education system in which students attend school for only a portion of the day. The purpose of full-day compulsory education is to provide students with more comprehensive education that includes a wider range of subjects, more instructional times, and more opportunities for extracurricular activities. Full-day compulsory education is typically implemented in primary and secondary school and may be mandatory for all students or only for certain age groups. The status quo that we would like to state here, the first one is a lot of students is currently struggling in academic. And the second one is a lot of them, half-day school students, uses their free times on unnecessary things that lead to a lot of student crime. The limitation we would like to point out here is, the first one, full day schools that require the students to attend school starting from around 8 or 9 a.m. until 3 or 4 p.m. The second one is full day schools that are under the government Ministry of Education, or we may say public schools, that doesn't give homework to students after the class has ended to prevent the students to get overwhelmed. The third one is full day compulsory schools that started at the age of 7 until 16. And the fourth one is full day schools to the schools that have goals and objectives reaching towards a better academic outcome. And I may continue to the fourth limitations. Better academic outcome which leads to good human resources that are badly needed in an undeveloped country. The arguments I would like to state, the four main arguments that I would like to state here. The first time is more instructional time, as I have stated in my previous definitions. A full day school allows for more instructional time, which can help students learn more and better. Students can have more time to cover a wider range of subjects, delve more deeply into complex topics, and receive more personalized attention from teachers. The second one is better academic outcome. Research has shown that students in full-day schools tend to perform better academically than those in part-day schools. This is likely due to the increased instructional time, as well as the opportunity for students to receive additional academic support and participate in enrichment activities. The third one is improved social and emotional development. Full-day schools provide students with more opportunities to interact with their peers and develop social skills. They can also provide students with more access to extracurricular activities such as sports and clubs, which can help students develop a sense of belonging and purpose. The fourth one, or as I may say, the last one, easier for working parents. Full-day schools can be easier for working parents who may struggle to arrange childcare or supervision for their children during part of the day. This can be particularly beneficial for low-income families who may not have access to affordable childcare, or we usually say daycare. Next, I will provide some data to support my argumentation that I have stated before. The first one is a study published in the Journal of Education Research found that students in full-day kindergarten programs showed greater gains in reading, math, and general knowledge than those in half-day programs. The second one is a report from the American Educational Research Associations found that full-day kindergarten programs were associated with higher scores on standardized tests in reading and math than half-day programs. The third one is a study published in the Journal of Education for Students Placed at Risk found that students in full-day kindergarten programs showed greater gains in language and literacy skills than those in half-day programs, particularly among low-income and minority students. And the last one is a review of research on extended day programs published in the Journal of Education and Practice found that full-day programs were also associated with higher academic achievement and reduced grade retention and dropout rates. These studies conclude and suggest that full-day programs may lead to improved academic outcomes, particularly in reading, math, and language skills. I, as the Prime Minister of the opening government team, that is all for my argumentation, defining the motions. Thank you.
The first speaker of opening government team spent 5 minutes and 45 seconds. To open the negative team case, let's call upon the first speaker of the opening opposition, Ms. Adelia.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ardelia Rafina, and I'm from Dentistry Faculty. And hereby, I am the first speaker of the opening opposition. According to the motion that the House believes that we should implement full-day school for compulsory education, I'm sorry, but I have to disagree with you on this because I don't see it that way. Research indicates that a longer school day doesn't necessarily result in better academics performances or higher achievement rates. Full-day school result in attention deficit and fatigue, or as you may call it, extreme tiredness or exhaustion. making the extra class time very ineffective. Some students, even as old as 8th graders, suffer from post-lunch attention deficit syndrome and aren't mentally prepared to take on additional hour of classworks.
POI.
And this is the report from an 8th grader teacher, Ron Whitehome, on Philadelphia's education website, thenotebook.org. Report shows that more time spent in school doesn't necessarily result in higher test scores. Children and teenagers in the United States spend more hours in school than kids in Asian countries, according to the data compiled in 2009. However, students in Asian countries consistently outperform United States students on math and science tests. Therefore, I find it very unnecessary for children to have to go through a full day of school when in reality it's very ineffective. For a child to have to bear longer periods of time in school when they could be going home to recharge, or to have some fun and to have better performance the next day, to be able to learn and absorb more of any kinds of studies given the next day. And studies shows that children felt a lot more happier and they filled their day with more joy to have to go to school without the feeling of a longer day burdening them. People should be more aware that forcing their children and teenagers of something that they felt is burdening is going to heavily impact on their mental and physical well-being. Not to mention other things besides studies that they have to go through every single day at school, such as bullies, or the feeling of being overshadowed or overlooked. In conclusion, as what I stated before, that a full-day school is very ineffective, let alone overwhelming, for children and teenagers to have to go through every single day. That is all from me. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
The first speaker of the opening opposition spent 2 minutes and 44 seconds. To reply the first speaker of the opening opposition speech, let's call upon the second speaker of the opening government team, Mr. Dean.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I will to rebuttal some of the argument from the first speaker of the government, of the government. First of all, they say that a longer school day doesn't effective as it say, but we already have the data. The first speaker already mentioned a lot of data that say this full day school is better than having a half day school. The data that given by my first speaker isn't just a joke, isn't just a complimentary from this debate, but it's a facts data, it's a factual data that happen. And also, even if there's some full day school that wasn't effective for some people, my first speaker already limited this motion to the Indonesia, which is an underdeveloped country or developed country. And we as a country, a developed country, we need a better human resource. We need a better human resource to make our country become greater, to make our country become a future country or something like that. Because of that, this academic reason, this academic benefit that happened before because the full day school wasn't a bad thing, or wasn't a bad thing. Instead, it's giving a lot of benefit for like the data that given from my first speaker. And also, they said that these people that will going to the full day school will be feel overwhelmed by the task that given by the time that's come. No, thank you. By the times that come from the school itself. I will say that because of that, we are giving this full day school mechanism isn't just always that you stay from school and you study all the need study that you have to do. And we are going to focus on something called extracurricular. Extracurricular is something, no thank you. Extracurricular is something that you doing, that you want to do it from yourself. You choose what extracurricular you have. Because of that, because of this thing that happened, this kid already choose what they want. This kid is already know that it will reduce the overwhelm feel from these people, this gentlemen. And then the first speaker from the government say that about bullying. Did you know that a lot of bullying happen after school? happen after school, not when the school is happen, ladies and gentlemen. Not when the teacher around, the people doing bullying. But they bully these people after school because of this.
POI?
No, thank you. Because of this. Because of the full day school, it will reduce the crime that that will happen from the student. That, like my first speaker already mentioned, and I will say it again in my argument. Then come to my argument. First of all, I will say what is benefit, what is the better thing that happened from the full day school assignment. Of course, the first thing that will happen, the good thing will happen, is like my first speaker say, is academic increase. And then the second say that that will happen because we giving no homework to these children, because we giving no more extra this after the school. These children in the where they are raised, they will have the more time without thinking about studying, and they can have more bonding with their family. It will become positively for the mentally and mentally gentlemen. No, thank you. Okay.
Okay, thank you. As you stated before, that you said that bullying mostly happens after school, but in most cases, a lot of bullying happens during the school time. For example, on a break time, when these kids or teenagers were about to go to the canteen or about to eat lunch or such, and then they have to go through a bunch of cliques or jocks like that, and they have to...
Okay, thank you. To respond to the POI that they say by the first speaker, I will say that what is more statically, what is more have a bigger chance of bullying? When there is a little time when you are take a break, or you are take a break or in the noon, or when you are going to home where is no supervision from the teacher, no supervision from the other adult, that will lead them to make them feel more free and make them doing bullying more. And I believe that this bullying will be happen more after the school. And that's coming to my second argument. This motion especially bring a good impact. It is a reduced student crime. We already know that we are under in the development country where there is a lot of student crime, like clash between the school, or we call it tawuran, and then we call it like student doing drugs, that which is bad. And because we're doing this full day school, we can see them, we can supervise these children, so they didn't do this student crime, which is lead to better generation for the future, ladies and gentlemen. Yes.
How are you going to guarantee that children are still going to attend school with this curriculum, and they're not just going to skip and do whatever you have mentioned prior to this, which is drugs and bullying and everything else?
Okay, thank you. To respond to the POI, I will say that it will be better. You can say that how can I make sure, because this thing is coming from the government. This thing is how can you say that this is wajib? This is necessary. This is must do to the children. Because of that, because of this time that they spend in the school, because of this time there have supervision from the teacher, from the adult, from these people, it will be make them didn't have time to doing some student crime like no tawuran, etc. like that, ladies and gentlemen. And I can't forget to mention this, but this is also helping the children, like my first speaker already mentioned. This will have helping the children that have issue in the home. Like first of all, the parent didn't have time to take care of them, and then this also can help people. This also can help children who are abused in the home, and they didn't feel comfortable, cannot studying in the home because of being abused by their parent. Because of that, I'm as a second speaker of the government. We are a government. We want these children. We want these students have a benefit of their time. We want these students become more improving and growing to a better person. And we as a Indonesian, we as a development country, we need a better human research to develop our country. Because of that, I stand with this motion. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Second speaker of the opening government span 6 minutes and 49 seconds. To reply the second speaker of opening government speech, let's call upon the second speaker of the opening opposition, Mr. Haris.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm standing here as a second speaker for opening opposition team. And here I will add some point argument and opinion of mine for the first speaker of opposition opening. The reason on why our house opposed against full day school program, because I believe it will mentally draining for the student. Not only that, it will also force the student to study for a longer period of time, hence making the students either bored, distracted, tired, and overwhelmed in both of their thoughts and mind, hence making the learning process inefficient and wasting precious time of the student. Not only that, because of the time period that they going to spend at school is increasing, that will also mean something is decreasing. And have you guys wonder what that is? That's right. The time they spend at home environment with family, friend, resting, and
Yeah.
also playing as their coping
Yeah.
or healing mechanism from exhausting activity at school is also decreasing as a result of this program, hence making them to probably hate school environment. No, thank you. And also neglected their study to regain those precious time of theirs. Not only that, more or less of the student is so exhausted after school that they pretty much fell asleep instantly as they reach their home. And because of that, it also pretty much heavily impacted their sleeping schedule. I guess
please.
that's all for me. No, thanks.
The second speaker of opening opposition spent 1 minute and 49 seconds. To extend the case of the government, let's call upon the first speaker of the closing government team, Ms. Amelia.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sip. Yes. I agree, because full day school is a learning system that is carried out by providing study time for 7 until 8 hours a day. And this full day school system is a government program for compulsory education. Based on the regulation of the Minister of National Education, described that basic education has the aim of laying the foundation of knowledge, intelligence, personality, noble character, and skill to live independently and take part in further education. Full day school is an alternative to overcome this problem, both in terms of achievement and in terms of morale, because in full day school, the priority is the formation of personality to instill positive values. So the goal of the full day school is to provide a solid foundation for developing and improving intelligence or intelligence quotient, IQ, emotional quotient, EQ, and spiritual quotient, SQ, with various effective and actual innovation. Full day school has reasons that have been considered in terms of student education. The policy of implementing the full day school program, or VDS, is the first step in the task of the Indonesian Minister of National Education. The design of this program was developed as one of the efforts to make education the most important part in shaping the character of student, but in terms of behavior and standard of expertise in achieving the goal of quality educational outcomes. The implementation of this policy is in line with effort to achieve educational goals of the Republic of Indonesia, as stipulated in the National Education System Law, which states which national education function to develop capabilities and from dignified national character and civilization in the framework of education in the nation's life, aiming at developing the potential of students to become human beings who believe and fear God amicably. It is clear that children will get learning methods that are varied and different from school with regular programs. The learning model at school, which is packaged in the form of full day school, can be an alternative to optimize children's activities. so that they are more organized, both in managing children's study time and in children's more educational for compulsory education. Thank you. No.
First speaker of the closing government span, 2 minutes and 38 seconds. To reply the first speaker of the closing government speech, let's call upon the first speaker of the closing opposition team, Ms. Camelia.
All right. For the timekeeper, please start when I say start. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everyone. My dear judges, my dear friends. I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Camelia Saleh from FK. And today I am here from the closing opposition. I will start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, the government have mentioned a few debates that I would like to rebuttal. To be exactly, there are 7 points that I will explain to everyone here today and also prove why the government team does not have a valid point. The first rebuttal. It is mentioned that performance, actually, a matter of fact, I would like to ask, have you ever rechecked your data? The data you have mentioned previously are not really synchronized with the data that I have. But against all that, the performance will go up, all right. But for how long? How long is performance going to keep going up? The long run, the effect on the children, the negative effect of being tired and exhausted, how long? If the performance keep going up, how long is it going to last? The answer to that is not long. There is going to be a brief moment where it's going to go up, the performance is going to go up and increase, but then it's going to go down. All right, second, I will talk about the moment that's going to be skipped. Ladies and gentlemen, we are living in a development country, as mentioned previously by the government, but that means we need children to be interested in school. We need children to be able to love school and enjoy it instead of hating it because it is draining to them. And so that is my point, gentlemen. By increasing the time that they spend in class, by draining them, by making them tired, it will cause the kids to hate school. Yes. Yes. Of course, it is tiring. Would you hate something that makes you tired? Yes. All right. So, the thing is, after being tired, what's going to happen now is that they are going to skip, ladies and gentlemen. They mentioned that, oh, they're going to have extra curriculum and this and that and so many benefits. But how are they going to get that benefit if they're going to skip school? They're going to skip because right now, in this time, in this real time, we know that we only have about 6 hours. No, thank you. There is only 6 hours of school and the students still skip. Students still take their time to do whatever they want because they feel, I don't want to do this. They feel tired by the only limited time. Imagine if you're going to take that into an extended version. All right, the next rebuttal that I'm going to be talking about is abuse. It was mentioned by the government that kids can run away to school because they don't want to face their parents that abuse them. Ladies and gentlemen, running away is not a solution. We have to face your parents. There is a problem. You talk about it. As an intellectual individual, we talk about problems that arise and not run away to school and hide. By doing this, you're gonna actually strain the relationship more. All right. And then they also mentioned that they are trying to achieve the highly functional individuals in society. But how is that going to be established? I will give you POI, but 1 second. No, 1 second after this. And then they also have mentioned that they will try to make individual be active in society, but how is that going to happen when these kids grow up to be depressed and tired and mentally unstable? How are they going to be a definition of a high-functioning society? All right, that's for my rebuttal. Now POI. Does anyone have a POI?
POI, please.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. First of all, the thing that I want to POI first is that this extracurricular didn't also mean that they are always tired. There are also extracurricular where they can relax or something like that. And then the second one, I was directly mentioned that we will help these people that have problem in their home such as these parents didn't have time in the home, and there is people that abuse their children in the home. That's make these children cannot study at home effectively. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I will answer to that is for the point. You did not mention that before. You mentioned abuse and children running away. But aside of that, I will talk about the fact that you probably said, what did you say? What did you say in the first question?
The first question is about this extracurricular that didn't tire the
Thank you.
children.
Do you know how many extracurriculum there is in Indonesian school? That is limited. There is very limited. And a matter of fact, children cannot actually pursue what they like because it's already been given to them. It's either language, it's either art, it's either music. There we go. One second. They cannot even have a freedom to choose. And when they have this extra time outside of school, they have the freedom to choose. All right, I will continue with my debate. For my arguments, I have three main arguments that I will be talking about. First of all, the cost. The government did not mention what is happening in the school itself. First of all, the cost. Implementing full day school would require significant additional funding, including hiring additional teacher, increasing the budget for school supplies and equipment, and investing in building modification to accommodate more students for longer school day. And secondly, teacher burnout. Teacher might struggle to maintain high level of energy and motivate for an exhausted school day. This could lead to burnout and decreased effectiveness in classroom. And lastly, the lack of student engagement. Simply adding more time to school does not necessarily guarantee increased student engagement. Students may have become bored, disengageed with longer period of classroom instruction, leading to decreased academic outcome. I don't even need data for that because it's logic. You're gonna spend time in school constantly being fed information and information, your brain is going to be tired fundamentally. No, thank you. There is gonna be next thing that I will talk about is the lack of flexibility. Full day school may not be suitable for all students. Some students may have family, work, or commitment that require them to available outside of school. Let's say the people that are in poverty. Some of them might tutor their friends to get extra money for them to work. And by doing this, by taking the opportunities for them to work and gain their own income, you are implementing the school rules, but it's not giving them any freedom. And lastly, I would like to ask the government whether or not, if they actually implemented this system, how are they going to measure the outcome? How are they going to be sure that this system is going to work? Because we have a functioning work right now. We have a beautiful work system in Indonesia. If you're going to change that, how are you going to be sure that it's going to bring more positive than negative? And please do that with the mechanism as well. Thank you very much.
The first speaker at the closing opposition spent 6 minutes and 44 seconds. To hear the last substantive speech of the government, let's call upon the second speaker at the closing government team, Ms. Adara.
Good afternoon, honorable judges and ladies and gentlemen. We believe full day school is a learning system that is carried out by providing study time for 7 to 8 hours a day, and this full day school system is a government program for compulsory education. And the implementation of full day schools require analytical thinking in preparing strategic plan that require predictive abilities based on data and fact, so that implementation need to can be met now and in the future. By providing a longer study time so that the character development process in the student will be more optimal. Beside the full day, school also invites students live independently its atmosphere of together and awareness as a guide creator as well. Until now, the implementation of a full day school, there are several kinds of impact arising from the implementation of a full day school in educational institutions such as elementary school.
schools are expected to be able to build sensitivity to care for any development that arises in their student. And based on the regulation of the Minister of National Education, described that a basic education has the aim of laying the foundation of knowledge, intelligence, personality, noble character, and skill to live independently and take part in future and further education. A full-day school is an alternative to overcome this problem, both in term achievement and term of a moral. No, thank you. A mildly has a noble character, is healthy, knowledgeable, capable, creative, independent, and becomes democratic and responsible citizen. The implementation of the full-day school policy certainly required the school to take steps to adjust the management system that will be implemented. This change in school management is expected to encourage and effectiveness the implementation of full-day school program. And one of a goal that can support effectiveness of a full-day school based on school management is the information of the implementation of educational service tasks that are able to design, prepare, implementation, and supervise the development of a full-day school program in the school environment within structuring the need on and infrastructure, curriculum, program, and implementation technique, as well as a program evaluation. That's for me. Thank you very much. No, thank you. I'm done. Thank you so much.
The second speaker of the closing government team spent 2 minutes and 8 seconds. To close the case opposition team, let's call upon the second speaker of the closing opposition team, Mr. Alfian.
Test. Okay, so shout out to Dr. Miranti, which has provided us from the medicine team until we'll be here. And okay, am I feasible? Okay, so POI will only get accepted. You do not have to raise your voice, only raise your hand, and probably the opposite government should come right off. And POI will only get accepted if I stop my speech and I say, yes, please go ahead. And if I continue my speech, then POI is declined. Okay, is that clear? Okay, so test. I will start my speech in 3, 2, 1. 3 points of clarifications. I want to tell you from all the honorary judges and all of the audience, let me explain to you why they would not win this debate over us today. So, so the first thing comes right up from the opposite government. Yes, clearly they have stated some data which does not have any correlation with their own arguments, which I'm going to explain to you later in my arguments. And second, the opening oppositions only define one sectors of the definitions. They only imply from the mental health perspective from this particular area, and CG will simply lose because they become repetitive and they clearly stated the fact and the policy perspective which are not really implies what they're saying about. Okay, so comes from my first argument that stated the opening government side has stated the limitation for this debate. Is it true that the compulsory education is student wide range is from 6 to 16 years old? Is that true? Yeah, but if you realize on some data that you mentioned before, the only data that comes right off from your side, you only mentioned 3 journals that stated from kindergarten population. So that's why that's not having any correlation with what you're talking about, because the kindergarten population are not given the same amount of workload from other types of education, such as from elementary school, junior high, and senior high. And we think that the data that you stated does not really imply on what you're saying. Okay, and the other thing that you're going to say is OG is very offensive. They overgeneralize that Indonesian education system. They didn't know that there are so many marginalized schools in Indonesia that do not have extracurricular activities in their own schools. Or even if they have, they only have maybe futsal, or maybe they have silat, and there is no other comprehension to fulfill those talents. Okay, so that's why the arguments from OGs fail. Okay, so I want to give a rebuttal for what that CG has stated before. That first, that they have stated that increased amount of activity in the school equals to more comprehensive knowledge and equals more to achievements. Okay. But they didn't provide the proof why that they stated. Hence, it is more likely to be the opening opposition said that the students are more likely to be burnt out and have a zero, and this argument have a zero correlation of what they stated before. And second, more instructional and personalized. Okay, they failed to understand this motion, that this motion stated as collective compulsory education in all over the world, which they stated the limitation in Indonesia. You have stated that before in Indonesia, right? Okay, so it's not personalized, nor is it more instructional to their own, so it can fit perfectly to the children's needs. So that's why that you're going to say is already failed. Other than that, there were so many children's needs, there were so many kids' needs that need to fulfill. They have their own. They have their own path to pursue, and that's why and currently in our status quo, our education system does not provide that. So that's why we stated that we oppose this motion. And secondly, the CG that I have stated before, they have stated this. They failed to state the current status quo. I believe that current Ministry of Education is Nadiem Makarim. Is it true? Okay, which comes up with the product called Merdeka Belajar and Kampus Merdeka. Yeah, it is. It is a revised argument that say that Merdeka Belajar embrace that students don't necessarily to be in their school full time, but rather than that, they embrace their students to pursue another activity other than their school activity. So that's first. So I'm not adding some arguments that comes with me. I'm going to extend my partner arguments. First. Have they assessed the outcome? It is quite unlikely that there is a significant difference regarding to the amount time the students spend on their schools to their own achievement. Okay, so and the next argument is full day schooling. They will increase their time, and they said that it will increase their time to socialize. Okay, isn't it obvious that students that have a lower time they spend on their schools can socialize more outside their schools with other people? So that's why it will be concerned. And okay, they haven't mentioned the other sectors rather than the mental perspective of the teachers, such as students' task load and the teachers' availability. So my partner has mentioned something that isn't mentioned before, that the cost. Have you been assessed how much is the cost will weight our education system with the current availability of the teachers, the current payment of the teachers, and also not to mention the teachers burns out, because teachers do burns out. Is that true, Ms. Nanda? Okay. The extension for this argument is first, lack of flexibility. Full day school may not suit. Okay, before I start my argument, is there any POI? 3, 2, okay.
Okay, so previously you said that the cost, right? It can be more expensive to operate because of the wages of the teachers, right? Did you realize that the limitation of this motion is the schools that are public schools? It means it's under the government. If the teachers is under the government, it means they are the civil servants. Whether or not public schools do half day or full days, they are gaining the cost that has been stated by the government. And so if you state that the cost, that it will cost...
Okay, I believe that POI was a boomerang to their arguments, since that have they been stated that it's only a matter of, it's only from the public school sectors, right? Yeah. They forgot the current status quo. There are so many schools with various types of education systems, such as public school with a half day, such as private schools with a full day, even if pesantren with a boarding school type, and and they have come with several various amount of outcome in their achievement. So by saying that, your statement, you're saying that your first argument that it equals to student achievement is totally wrong, and as you mentioned before. So okay, I'm going to continue my speech. Okay, so the potential negative impact of student health is longer school hours may lead to increased stress, and also the limited impact on academic outcomes. Simply adding the time to school does not necessarily guarantee improve academics one, and also while more engaged student body may lead to more vibrant school culture, it does not necessarily mean that full day school is the best way to achieve this, especially for younger students who have shorter attention span, and that's what we proudly oppose. Thank you.
The second speaker of the closing opposition spent time 7 minutes and 7 seconds. Okay, it is the end of the debate. All the debaters and observers, please leave the room and stay outside while the educators will making the decision. Thank you. Oh. Okay, thank you so much for the judges. Thank you so much, Miss. Okay, all the contestants could shake each other hands. While waiting for the judges for scoring, we will ask the participant how are they feel.
Di tengah aja, kursinya aja. Biar ada PBG yang bisa. Nggak usah berarti. Pakai kursinya dong, nggak pakai meja. Pakai kursi dong.
All the participants may sit.
Tes. Tapi gantian kursi, gue kiri. Apa?
POI Alfia itu udah poin.
POI.
POI itu udah poin.
Sebenarnya saya nggak ada bakat sih, dong. Cuma kalau di kelas suka ngebantah dosen aja.
Waduh.
Makanya
Kita ngapain ya? we just want to say we're very happy that we were able to attend this contest.
Kita kayak apaan pakai hitam-hitam begini berdua?
Testimony. Would like to give a summarized situation of what had happened throughout this contest. I've personally learned a lot, and I would like to say thank you to everyone, especially to, as I mentioned, Dr. Miranti, and also to my amazing partner right here. Do you have anything to say, partner?
Apa?
You have anything to say?
Okay, shout out to Dr. Miranti, which has support us till we sampai di Jakarta. Makasih juga papa mama udah bantu aku, udah dukung aku. Jangan lupa nanti ketik SMS-nya di bawah, support terus kami.
Abis ini kita bakal lanjut ke dance ya. Ini the dance, like star dance. Kan pakai baju kapalan gitu. Okay, thank you everyone. Have a good day.
Bikin ke MC.
Okay, welcome to YARSI TV again. Today we're with our participant in this final round. So, yeah, the finalists. Okay, guys, so before we hear the announcement, I'd like to talk with you about maybe the motivation before you enter this debate competition. Maybe one of you would like to share with us why are you guys joining this competition and what are the motivation? Maybe probably one of you want to answer?
Okay, maybe I would. Yes, thank you for the opportunity. Maybe what motivates me to join this debate competition is that I was gladly recommended by one of my lecturers, and at first I was about to refuse because I thought that why do I have to go to campus on a Sunday, when I could be spending my Sunday at home. But then again, I kind of challenged myself, just like, I kept thinking to myself, why don't you just do it, You have the ability, why not add more knowledge? Why not expand more relation to other people outside of my faculty? And I think that being here today and being able to be in the grand final is an exceptional and amazing experience to be having, and it feels really great to be here today. Thank you.
Any other contestants? You can. For medicine, maybe?
From medicine A or medicine B? Medicine A, okay.
Okay, tadi intro dulu nggak sih?
Okay, I think we need to appreciate Naila and Dean because they're all from angkatan 2022 and they have become this far. Sama lo juga? Yeah, okay.
Okay, first of all, I actually want to thank all the lecturers, all the teachers, this is going to be a heartwarming speech. Okay, skip that part. It was announced in the, grup angkatan? In our group, in our batch group, the leader of the batch sent a letter, and she says, Nai, lo kepilih nih buat debate, katanya disuruh Dr. Miranti. I was like, oh kok bawa Dr. Miranti? Why is she bringing up Dr. Miranti? I was like, okay. Terus, and I just see this as an opportunity for me to test my limits, to cross my limits, because it is actually my first time joining a debate, an English, not even an English debate. It is my first time joining a debate, and with the help of a lot of people, with the support of a lot of people, I made it this far. Thank you.
Oh, that's so cute. Okay, it must be a lot of lesson learned. Probably you guys want to talk about what is the most valuable lessons from all this competition.
Alright, before I start, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Camelia Saleh from Faculty of Medicine. And also before I start, I'd like to thank everyone here, as Naya have already mentioned, for all the tutors, all the doctors, all the participants, all the audience. Well, the question was, what is the most valuable lesson that I've learned? For me personally, I've actually never participated in a debate before, just like Naya. And yes, this is my first time in a debate competition. So it was a very amazing experience, I'd say. I'm very grateful that I have an amazing partner like Alfian right here, who is very good at tutoring me throughout the entire event. And the lesson learned is that I learned how to be a little bit more braver, talk a little more clear, think more critically, and also find solution in the most impossible ways. Maybe that's my point. Thank you.
Okay, that was amazing. This is yes, this is your first time. Okay.
Thank you, Miss.
You guys say that a lot of you, this is the first debate competition for you. Maybe you can share some tips and trick to how to learn this fast and becoming the finalist today. Mungkin maybe the law team want to answer.
Hello. Okay. Tips to learn. Well, I couldn't say that I was well prepared. So I don't exactly have exactly tips what you can do, but guys, you need to know that you must to believe in yourself that you can do this, because I don't even think that I will.
Don't cry. That's okay, Dara, you doing amazing.
You did an amazing job.
Okay.
I feel so loved.
Okay, the thing that you have to believe in yourself, that you can push the wall, the limit of yours, and can I speak in bahasa because a little bit. Pokoknya perbanyak latihan speaking aja deh kayaknya.
Everyone should know that Adara is an intermediate student. So yes, to tell you the truth, that it's really
Because we're intermediate team.
Yeah, we are
Yay!
yeah. So Adara, you are now fighting giants. They are from proficient level, and you are intermediate. So I think you've done a great job.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
How does it feel? Debate for morning. Is it exhausted or tired?
Very exhausting.
Exhausted.
Very
sleepless.
exhausting.
Actually, when we build some case building and for the motion, actually we have to 12 motion, and and for just one night we make for 12 motions. We prepare for one night. Yes, and
Sleepless, actually.
sleepless.
But it's worth it, guys.
But it's worth it.
We're here.
So you're having fun, right?
Of course, because I'm very excited to be here.
What's your favorite motion, by the way?
Number 2.
12.
So different
the parental
favorite motion?
the parental, the parental
12.
leave. That was
Parents-
one of my
paternity leave. Yeah.
Maybe from the other team, what is your favorite motion?
For me was this one because I was actually preparing for this motion, and when Miss Nanda asked us, what do you pray for? I answered loudly, 2. And then when she opens it and it was 2, I was beyond happy. And it felt like just like God answered my prayers, so I felt really grateful.
I did that intentionally.
Actually, for Team B, this is the motion that we least prepared for. So it was a very challenging. There's no lies. It's all about honesty. We're in debate, okay? But yeah, we have. It was really shocking when we saw that this motion was picked. We actually prepared more for other motion, but well, we tried to get by.
So which one are you guys' favorite?
What's your favorite, Alfian?
I think I'm comfortable with all of the motions. Yeah, I think all of the motions is my favorite.
That's why he said everything will do.
Everything will do.
The only one who's saying that is him.
Yeah, we can see it from his face actually. Okay, Camelia?
For me, I think this is quite shocking, but I was actually really looking forward for child labor. Buying goods for child labor, I think it's a very interesting topic, but yeah, it's all right. It was all a very interesting topic. Yeah, well, because I'm part of ASEAN, everything would have been fine. You know what? We have him on my side.
Okay. Talking about, oh yeah. Then,
Then, is this
No?
your first time doing debate?
No, it's not my first time doing debate. It's
Oh.
more like revenge because when I'm in the high school, I was not get selected to join NSDC. Because of that, I want to join NUDC this year, inshallah. Hopefully.
hopefully, but it was very good for you. And maybe talking about the motion. Then what is your favorite debate position?
My
Your
favorite, my favorite debate position is opening opposite, I guess, because I like to tell people that they are wrong. I like to make people feel they are wrong because of that.
First thing you ask is
You want to say something, Alfian?
the first question that you mentioned is it your first time? And the second question that you mentioned, what's your favorite position? Yeah, okay, it's kind of, no, nothing.
Okay. I get the point.
There's a good point in Edgar's statement before. Teachers enjoy rebukes everyone. I really want to know how is it possible for you to rebuke everyone? Why do you like this position? Because usually people love to be in a opening government, but you feel like you prefer to be opening opposition. How do you see advantage in this position?
To see the advantage of the position of opening opposite, I guess it's how I predict what they want to say, and then I will rebut them. Because of that, it's feel good to just to make people that.
It feels good to annoy people.
Yeah.
I can testify as Dan's partner. He always take the roles that can rebut everyone.
So no matter what position,
No matter what position,
you're wrong.
yes, I am always the opening government, or like the closing, the one who whips everything that Dan already rebuttals.
Yeah, you make a good team.
Is it? Oh, sorry. Is it the reason why you are always excited to give the POI to the other team? Yes.
Like I said before, I want to prove everyone that they are wrong. Because of that, I like to give POI, and also it's to annoy people actually, so they can concentrate what they want to say. Yeah, that's the main reason.
And are you give the best as you can to point out that people wrong today?
I try my best, but I think there is also a lot of good debaters that.
Oh yeah, which one the hardest group, the hardest team to point out they are wrong?
Medicine A, of course. Medicine B,
Oh,
medicine B,
medicine
medicine
B.
B, of course, medicine B.
Okay. Okay, maybe that is the last question. Hopefully we get the best result as possible. And guys, thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you so much for your time. Maybe we can go back to our seat and let's hear the result.
Okay, hello, good evening everyone. So here is what we all have been waiting for, okay? So, winner announcement for YARSI English Debate Competition. All right, so the fourth rank with a VP 0, of course, yes. And the total team score is 144. Goes to Law. Again, the third rank with a VP 1, and the team score is 144. Goes to Dentistry. Alright, we go. The second rank, obviously. Okay, with the VP 2 and the team score is 152. It goes to Madison B. And the winner, the first rank with the VP 3, team score 154, goes to Madison A. And we have our best speaker. We have our best speaker of the day. Goes to Mr. Dearagdani. Congratulations. Okay, so for all the winners, please come forward. Yeah, Miss Bella will take.
Okay, so Okay, so there are 4 team winners and 1 best speaker. So for the winners and 1 best speaker, please come out. Please come step forward. The 4th winner is team, Law team. Please step forward. The 3rd winner comes to Dentistry. Please step forward. And then the 2nd winner is Medicine B. Please step forward. And the first winner comes to Medicine A. And the best speaker is Mr. Dan Akdani. To Dr. Wuning Sari MKes as the Vice Rector 1, please kindly hand the prizes. The winners, please proceed sitting. Congratulations to the champion. Within the announcement of the winners, let's hear out congratulatory speech for the champion from Vice Rector 1, Dr. Wuning Sari MKes.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabihi ajmain amma ba'du. Sebelumnya mohon berkenan saya pakai bahasa Indonesia aja. Minder saya lihat tadi mahasiswa-mahasiswa yang sangat luar biasa sekali. Jadi ucapan terima kasih. Baik, terima kasih untuk para juri yang sudah berkenan ya, Ibu Ira, Ibu Aswani, Ibu Siti Nafila sudah meluangkan waktunya di akhir pekan di saat mungkin sebagian besar masyarakat kita sedang nyekar ya menjelang bulan Ramadan. Jadi terima kasih banyak sudah berkenan untuk menjadi juri di acara debat Universitas YARSI. Ucapan terima kasih juga saya sampaikan kepada Ibu Nanda Oktavia selaku Direktur OLC. Terus terang persiapannya ini memang cukup singkat ya, dan kami waktu itu diskusi ini harus segera dilaksanakan sebelum bulan Ramadan begitu ya. Jadi akhirnya kita pilih ini hari baik insya Allah. Alhamdulillah lancar begitu dan persiapannya luar biasa dalam waktu singkat juga dengan Ibu Wina, Pak Fernanda, terima kasih banyak, ada Pak Fahad, Pak Slamet, Mbak Heni, Mbak Tati yang juga support juga semua panitia mahasiswa, terima kasih banyak. Dan ini bagian kecil dari upaya kita untuk meningkatkan prestasi mahasiswa YARSI. Mungkin izin saya sampaikan bahwa saat ini juga teman-teman Anda sedang berjuang, jadi ada pembukaan untuk program pembinaan mahasiswa wirausaha gitu. Jadi sejauh ini saya sudah menandatangani lembar pengesahan ada 11 proposal, mudah-mudahan lolos semua untuk mendapat dana wirausaha. Kemudian kemarin malam Sabtu kita juga sampai dengan 1:30 malam dengan Pak Kuku berjibaku untuk bisa submit 2 proposal program penguatan kapasitas organisasi kemahasiswaan. Sayang sekali hanya 2 padahal kita punya jatah sampai 16 gitu. Mudah-mudahan tahun berikutnya bisa lebih banyak lagi yang mengajukan dan bisa mendapatkan pemenang hari ini, tapi nanti mungkin silahkan saya serahkan ke Bu Nanda ya. Untuk pemenangnya akan kita harapkan bisa mewakili YARSI di NUDC ya bulan Juni dan tanggal 5. Kita menunggu info lebih lanjut nanti. Kemarin kita diskusi sih mungkin tidak mesti satu fakultas, misalnya seandainya memang memerlukan dari fakultas lain, yang jelas dari teman-teman yang terbaik semua untuk bisa maju di NUDC gitu. Amin ya. Baik, yang jelas sih semuanya pemenang, kalau menurut saya semuanya pemenang, cuman karena juri harus membuat urutan 1, 2, 3, 4 gitu kan, tidak semuanya bisa dapat hadiah gitu ya. Jadi hanya memang bisa diputuskan untuk 4 saja gitu, tapi semuanya saya rasa adalah pemenang dan luar biasa sekali. Teman-teman presentasi, berdebat itu bagus sekali dan saya harap ini bisa menciptakan atmosfer yang baik gitu di Universitas YARSI, bisa mendorong semua teman-temannya untuk berprestasi. Sekali lagi selamat untuk semuanya, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Weningsari, for the speech. Now let's hear out closing speech from Optima, Miss Nanda Octavia, Master of Education.
Thank you so much. I have no words to say, speechless actually. The result is really striking, but of course in competition we should have this big heart to take the result as what it is. I congratulate to all winners. When you are in the final, you are the winners already. That's why I said it's all done, because the best speaker are already here. So please guys, if you don't get the first rank or you don't get the best speaker, don't get discouraged. Don't be discouraged. You are the winner already. Yeah, don't be discouraged. But please guys, spread the spirit, build the community, sharpen each other, help each other, because we are a big team. YARSI, big team. That's the spirit that I'd like to share you all guys. Even we have best speaker, we have first winner, we are all winner. Okay, I hope you get the spirit, and let's get started the big work. We are going to get ready to the biggest event, NUDC. Camila, Alfian, Naila, Dayan, Adara, and everyone, please stay, keep the spirit, and get ready to the next battle. Yes, that's all that I'd like to say. Thank you for hanging with us. Thank you for bearing with us since this morning, 7 p.m., 7 a.m. this morning, and you're still with your smiley faces, happy voices, and your energy. I thank you. There's no more to say. Thank you so much to make these things happen. Thank you for all the judges. That's it. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming.
Okay, thank you, Miss Nanda Octavia. Now, we are at the end of the event. Let's close this event with saying Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillahirabbil. That's all from me, Bella, as the MC for today's. Thank you for all the judges, contestant, audience, and all committees. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.